Hello, beautiful souls. As I'm sure a lot of you know, I like to geek out over trauma training. I'm always looking for really good information to understand my nervous system, understand how to expand my capacity, how to stay regulated. That's actually one of the foundations of what I want to bring into Her Sovereign Way is the capacity to feel safe in one's own body. And so I was in a class and I got to thinking about you all because we were talking about capacity and what it means. And in relationship to being triggered, the mentor that I'm learning from, he actively triggers us. And I don't mean maliciously or with harm or intent to do harm. I mean, he talks about things that kind of activate our nervous system and to kind of get to the edge of a trauma response, not all the way where you're actually going into that deep, dark abyss of the trauma response, but enough to where, well, and I'll speak for myself, of course, where I recognize, oh, I'm in freeze. Oh, I'm in fight. Oh, this is fun. Like to be able to recognize it. And one of the things that he talks about that I kind of want to lend to our space is I see how he's triggering us, and he talks about it in such a way that he does it on purpose because he's teaching the nervous system how to expand in activation and then come back to safety, how to expand in a trauma response and then come back to safety. And so it's this expansion and safety, right? Expansion meaning a big feeling, big emotions, big trauma responses, but then to be able to come back into our core. It's creating elasticity in my nervous system. It's creating that stretchy muscle building of being able to know where my limit is, know where my capacity is, and then the knowing of I know how to come back. I know how to come back into my field. And how does that relate to what we're doing here? This space, I have already witnessed. I have already had the experience of people saying that they are coming up against those triggers. This space, because we are breaking the rules and we're disrupting the norm. We're disrupting the neuroplasticity of what is comfortable and introducing new practices, new language, new ways of showing up vulnerably in a safe space that's going to trigger your nervous system. It's inevitable. I promise you, it's inevitable. It isn't my intention to trigger you. It's just the nature of the group. It's the nature of our mission, of our collective intention. Because when you start leaving what's comfortable, when you start moving away from what is known and inching yourself over into the unknown, it's inevitable. Our nervous system is not going to understand the abnormal stretch. It wants to go back to the comfortable contraction. You're going to get triggered. You're going to get activated. Your nervous system is going to wobble. It's going to feel unsafe. To the nervous system, that means danger. It doesn't mean you're in danger. It just reads it as danger. It reads it as danger because it cannot predict what is going to happen. The comfort zone is 100% predictable. That's why it's comfortable. That's why we crave it. So it isn't that we're in danger. It's just that your nervous system doesn't know the difference sometimes. That's normal. So let me pause right there. I have a point, I swear. I'm kind of rambling in this video, but it's been coming to me lately, kind of watching how we're moving as a group. And it's always my deepest desire, number one, to be transparent, to make sure you know I see it. Because if I can see it, then I can hold it, right? I can hold you in that sacred space of that. Mm, I'm pausing. I might need a minute. And if you'll remember, some of us, when we were in the group in December, we talked about a capacity challenge to expand our capacity, meaning for those of you that weren't there, the central channel that is within the center of the body is responding to our environment, to our emotions, to our thoughts. And it's either in like this expanded, I'm excited and I want more and I can do this, or it's getting really tight and it's like, nope, I can't do this. This is all I have. I'm not like ready. I feel afraid, whatever the expansion contraction kind of process is around that. So we were practicing expanding that capacity to create more room for whatever we were calling in. And the challenge, the capacity challenge, the game we were playing was expanding that capacity, filling it up with gratitude so that we could get used to more space. I see that as a number one issue for women in general. We are programmed, trained, and indoctrinated within the subconscious belief that we should minimize our space to let everyone else have space. We're already like pushing up against that belief system, that unspoken, here's what a good woman looks like. Okay. So it's already pushing against that space when we even just started expanding, I don't know, just to be able to breathe more. When we started expanding our capacity, we're already challenging that belief system. So that's already going to make us uncomfortable because we're not in the comfort zone. We're leaning into this newness. Okay. So just track with me on that. I learned something and I don't know why it didn't drop in until now, but I'm going to give myself grace to know that it now was the time. In trauma training, we talk about nervous system regulation as being a window of tolerance. I don't like that verbiage, so I usually say window of performance, whatever you want to use. But I do want to drop an image in just to kind of show you. So let me share my screen because I want to show you a visual of what I'm talking about. So for me, this is how our nervous system works. This is what we're told, how our nervous system kind of moves through our day-to-day activities. So if you'll look here, we have this purple line that goes right across. This is the peak performance of our sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is our activity. It's when we're in a heightened state of get the things done and get the work done and do the tasks and we're excited and we're in action and we're thriving. It's also where we experience fight or flight and sometimes, yes, fawn. Okay. So this is the heightened kind of peak performance of our sympathetic nervous system. This green line down here represents the peak performance of our parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. It's that coming back down, being grounded, slowing down, allowing for the restorative healing level of rest that not a lot of us allow ourselves to get into. This is also the space where we experience freeze when we're in a survival mode, where we might like hesitate or sometimes dissociate. Like the freeze can sometimes have us out of our body. Fight or flight can too at the same time, but freeze and dissociation does go hand in hand there. Now, the idea is these two lines is your window, right? This is the window of performance. This is the goal. This is what a regulated nervous system looks like. We're rising in activity and we're coming back down to rest. We're rising in activity and coming back down to rest. But as life is life, life be lifing, sometimes we get a little overactivity and then we kind of collapse and we're fatigued. And then we have to get more done tomorrow. And then we're fatigued again. So now we're starting to get outside of our range. Okay. Expanding our capacity means expanding this window, expanding the space so that our nervous system has more range to move. And another day, I'll talk about the sympathetic overwhelm and the parasympathetic collapse. But I want to talk about it just in the space of expanding our capacity. So if if you're somebody that lives a small life, wants to be invisible, wants to be meek and mild, doesn't like to be visible, doesn't like to speak when we're on calls or in life, or but there's sort of a I'm safe if I'm small subconscious thinking. Your window is very tight, very short. And so your nervous system is jumping up and down really quickly because that's the window. That's all it has. It's where we're going to live in chronic overwhelm because that's not the range the nervous system wants to experience. It wants to experience a larger range. So any added stress on top of that little tiny window is going to overwhelm you because there's no room. It's all compressed and tight. So when we taught, like, so take this, now put it with this, what we've been doing with capacity. It's that central channel that's real tight and it's full of emotion and thought and fear and stress and worry. And now you have somebody call you and they need to dump all their problems on you. It doesn't fit. So it's going to spill out and overwhelm. So when we talk about expanding our capacity to like allow that central channel to flow open, we are expanding our capacity. We're expanding our window of performance to allow more range, more space, more time to let the nervous system move about the way it is naturally designed to do. Pausing and breathing. Why is this important? Going back into the conversation of being triggered, you will almost inevitably be triggered in a space like this because something's coming in and you don't have room for it, and it's going to be uncomfortable AF. And then you're going to want to go into a trauma response to survive because everything feels really dangerous right here. Everything, even the good stuff, even when life is bringing you good things like abundance and joy and insights and new friendships, you don't have any capacity for anything more. And so you're going to get triggered. Now, this is where I want to just kind of move into an invitation. I want to invite you. I promise you this space is going to trigger something in you. Some sort of, I have control here. It's predictable here. I like my comfort zone here. And then we're introducing all of these really simple pieces of language, practice, even just being in a group can be triggering for some. It has been for me over the years. I am scanning and can I see everyone's face? Who's not on camera? I don't know if I can trust them. That hypervigilance when we're in a room full of people. Online is no different. We're all scanning and looking at all the boxes and okay, I think I know everybody. Oh, I don't know that person. Let me watch them. Like there's just a hypervigilance that comes along with it. That's why group work is so powerful. So I promise you, with all the love I have in my entire being, you're going to get triggered. If you're showing up, like literally just coming to the calls, If you're going into the community and you're commenting and posting, you're going to be triggered. And so my invitation is a reframe of that. That's a good thing. The trigger is not the enemy. The trigger is the clue that something is ready to come up to be healed. That's what a trigger is. The trigger is not a bad thing. We've kind of like collectively in general, um, we've looked at these as negative responses, as, oh no, I'm in danger. And there's real danger in the world. I'm not minimizing that, but what I'm inviting you to do is to question, are you? Are you in danger? Because the trigger is not the enemy, the trigger is the clue. Something very, very old is ready to come forward because you're in a safe space. Or it wouldn't come forward. It would stay way in the back. And so my invitation is to consider, just an invitation, that you're getting triggered because you're safe. Sounds really weird. It feels like that's not like counterintuitive, right? You wouldn't have it come up if you weren't in a safe space. That's the reframe. That's what I'm inviting you to think about. And so, and then there's a part two to that invitation. Are you capable? Can you gently give yourself the opportunity to lean into the group just a little bit, just a little more when you actually want to lean away, right? It's the fastest, most common thing to do when we're uncomfortable is to step back, is to step away. I don't like that. They're saying things. I don't like that person. I don't feel safe with that person. I don't like this topic. I don't like Morrigan's explanation. Like it's really easy for us to justify moving away and going back to the comfort zone. And so I'm inviting you, maybe you don't, because it's precisely that keeps us stuck. It keeps us in a holding pattern. We don't move forward. We don't expand. We don't learn more. We don't have new opportunities. We don't receive more. We're not capable of giving more. That's not working. The going away and the receding back into the back and just being a shadow, being a wallflower, because it's uncomfortable. The trigger is the clue that something is ready to be healed, but it also is asking you to be curious enough to explore it. It can't do it on its own. It wants to be witnessed by you. It wants to be seen by you. It wants to be held by you so that it can properly process the remaining woundedness that it carries. And there's a little bit of a caveat in there. If you ever are truly unsafe in this space, please come to me. If there is wounding happening and I don't notice it, if it's by a member's hand, if it's by my hand and I didn't know it, please come to me. It's an opportunity. There's a rupture. There's an opportunity to repair. But if you feel harmed and or are harmed and you go away, there's no opportunity for repair. The rupture and the repair is what creates trust in relationships, individual or group. And so if you feel a rupture and you just go away, the other person has no ability to repair. You have no ability to repair. You are abandoning that situation to go back to the comfort zone. I'm gonna take a breath. Okay. I'm bringing this up because there's some movement happening right there. I'm bringing this up because I got triggered last night in my trauma training. And the truth is, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. It's not my favorite day. But what saved me is the reframe that the trigger is simply asking for space to be healed. It's not attacking me or punishing me or reminding me that I'm not healed yet. It's asking for my presence. And so I noticed the trigger. I noticed my freeze and then my fawn and then my fight. Like I got triple triggered. I know I'm an overachiever. Sometimes I can't help it. But I was frozen with my, oh, I'm not good enough. He doesn't like me. I don't have anything to offer, so that I have no value. And then I went into fawn. I noticed that I started like chatting extra in the group and hearting I went, ooh, got it. Then I went quiet because I'm like, okay, something's happening. I feel different. Something took over. And then I wanted to fight. I wanted to be like, well, I'm going to unmute myself and I'm going to make myself blah, 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 whatever, right? It's a big story. I don't need to go into it. I wanted to be visible. I wanted to be seen, and he wasn't seeing me. And I was pissed about it. And I wanted to get in there and unmute myself. And I went, honey, it's okay. And so what I did instead was and the call was over. It was like just a few minutes before it was over. And we have a WhatsApp group in this class. So I went into the WhatsApp and I outed myself. I typed out every ugly, dirty detail, trusting that the mentor meant what he said when he said, I can hold you in your trigger. Come to me, be honest about it. So he's new to me. I don't know if he meant it. I don't know if he knows that he can. I don't know if he was being honest. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I don't know him. So I leaned in and I went, okay. And I even said, here's the dirty details. And I'm trusting that you meant what you said when you said you could hold us in our trigger. I'm trusting that you're not going to attach to these projections because I know what they are, right? But it's easy for people to get triggered by your trigger when you're honest with them about your trigger. Just the gift that keeps on giving. But what I did is I leaned in and I said the things. Here's what happened. Here's what I thought. Here's what I felt. This is what I projected. This is what I did. And here's the thing that I come to. I really do want to be seen. And I don't feel safe when I'm seen. And so my leaning in to somebody that I didn't know that well, taking a chance that he meant what he said, that he's going to be able to hold that. And he did. And now there's a way, there's repair. Because see, getting triggered, if he never knew I was triggered by his, words and language and beingness, the rupture, he doesn't know the rupture's there. I know the rupture's there. I have to live in the rupture because, he did this to me and he said these things and he and he and he and he and he. It's a disservice to both of us because I didn't give him a chance to hold me and be his word that he could hold me in that trigger. And so, coming back to us, I can hold you in your trigger. I know what this space is doing for us. for us as a group and for you as an individual. I know what it's offering you. The invitation is you have to lean in. You have to lean into it. It won't ever clear up or heal or move on if you don't be brave and lean into it. Doesn't mean you have to know everything. Doesn't mean you have to, have it all together before you come to me. It means come to me. Come to the calls. Be honest. Be vulnerable. We can hold you. And we're all learning that. I can hold you. And then when everyone learns how to hold that space, we can hold you. But moving away and not accepting that invitation is stuckness. It's stuckness. That's where we get stuck and we get frustrated because we don't know why we're not moving forward. So, big breath, right? My intention really is I want you, I desire you to have the full range of what is offered here. I'm honest about that. I want it for you. And as I move through my people pleaser trauma healing journey, I can't want it more for you. So this video is to invite you in. Because I want it for you, but I'm going to be right here. I'm going to stay right here and receive you if you lean in. I can't lean in and make you do it, right? That's what I'm learning. I'm getting that myself. That's my own personal process with that. So, as we journey together and we increase capacity, we minimize the overwhelm. The triggers are softer because they're more obvious. We have capacity to hold the trigger. If you're like this and a trigger, like, I don't know, what's a good size trigger? Here, let me use my little bowl. If you have a capacity like this and this big old trigger comes in, it's too big. It's gonna overwhelm and it's gonna spill out. But if you have a capacity like this and this little bitty baby thing comes in, you're gonna go, oh, look, that's a trigger. You're gonna have the space to recognize it, feel it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I'm so grateful. I now know more about myself. And so it's all going to be about capacity. It's all going to be about that expansion. And we'll work more on that because I am putting that together of how important that is and how simple it is. But it's in the activation and the regulation, it creates this really strong elasticity. You're building a muscle. Whenever there's rupture and repair, in that consistency, in that showing up for each other and hearing each other and being able to hold each other in the trigger, even if I cause the trigger, me being able to hold you, the rupture and the repair is cultivating trust in our group. And what's the number one thing we say about groups, especially girl groups? I don't trust them. This is your opportunity to see why. This is your opportunity to heal that sister wound. And that I know is what we're here for, in addition to all the amazing things we're stepping into. So thanks for letting me talk that out. It's been on my mind for a few days. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know when you watch this if want to come to a call and deep dive into it. Like let's get Let's get dirty. Let's get messy with it. All right, my loves. So appreciate you. I'll see you soon.